Ethan Wilhold, son of Diana and David Wilhold, is the Collinsville High School Student Council President. He will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ethan to the stage.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ethan. At this time, I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize all the veterans in our audience, as well as the 2019 graduates who will be entering the service. Those individuals should please stand at this time in order to be recognized. Thank you for your service to our country. It is my pleasure to introduce Eliza Apperson, daughter of Andrea and Gary Apperson. She is the class president for the class of 2019. Eliza has the honor of officially welcoming you to Collinsville High School commencement exercises. Eliza?
Sitting here today, we all feel the excitement radiating off of each other. We're excited for our futures and we're excited to be out of high school, but we're also sad to see this stage of our life go. Any other day, we can't wait to get out of here. We race at top speed to the parking lot because no one can wait to go home. But today is going to be different. Today is going to be filled with long hugs, heartfelt goodbyes, and last glances over our shoulders, stepping out of high school for the last time. Freshman year, we were very different versions of ourselves than as sitting here today. Those pictures from 4 years ago are full of little kids with bright eyes and braces who had no idea what to expect from high school. The most realistic expectation we had of high school was High School Musical, and that wasn't very accurate. But pretty soon, we learned how to navigate the school. And before we knew it, we had become the upperclassmen who were annoyed with all the little freshmen who didn't know how to walk in the halls. The years that flew by so fast are what has prepared us for our futures. All the endless assignments and teachers constantly reminding us to actually turn in our work has taught us the hard work and dedication we're going to need for the future. Going into the future, it's important that we don't forget who we are. It's going to be easy to change to fit in with the people we're surrounded by. But we didn't go through these weird 4 years of high school finding ourselves just to start all over again. So remember who you are. Be proud of who you were yesterday, who you are today, and who you will be tomorrow. Stepping into the future isn't going to be easy, but it will all be okay if you stay true to who you are. Welcome to the class of 2019 graduation. Thank you all for coming, and thank you all for the memories over the past 4 years.
Thank you for that excellent welcome address, Eliza. At this time, I'd like to introduce our distinguished platform guest. Please refrain from applauding until all individuals have been introduced. Ms. Latoya Coleman, Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Mrs. Allison Underwood, Director of Special Education and Related Services. Dr. Kari Caritas, Hollywood Heights Principal and CHS Assistant Principal. Dr. Tricia Blackard, CAVC Director and CHS Assistant Principal. Ms. Charlotte Fisher, Assistant Principal. Mr. Kevin Robinson, Director of Human Resources. Mr. Brad Heyer, Assistant Superintendent for Student Services. Mr. Derek Turner, Director of Technology. Mr. Mark Shusky, Social Studies teacher and reader for the presentation of the diplomas. Ms. Michelle Stutz, Board Member. Mrs. Vicki Rulicki, Board of Education Member. Mrs. Jane Solke, Secretary of the Board of Education. Mr. Peter Stamen, 2019 Alumni Achievement Award recipient. Mr. Gary Piccola, President of the Board of Education. Dr. Robert Green, Superintendent of Schools. And Dr. Dennis Kraft, Treasurer of the Board of Education. And Mr. Tim Hasmir, Board of Education member. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our honored guests. And the sponsors for the class of 2019 are Mrs. Stacy Hartle and Mrs. Akaya Perry. Please stand and be recognized. Assisting the sponsors in marshaling the graduates in are Logan Staggs, the 2019-2020 President of the National Honor Society, and Anna Grace Weil, the 2019-2020 CHS Student Council President. I now have the honor of introducing students ranking in the upper 10% of the class of 2019. Again, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Students receiving summa cum laude recognition, please stand as I read your name. James Moore, Emily Bone, Shannon Wobie, Richard Coca, Heather Martinez, Isabella Schubert, Amy Burgess, Stephanie Velazquez, Eliza Apperson, Calissa Jones, Kylie Belandis, Michaela Chrisman, Lucas Liljergren, and Isabella Tucker. Ladies and gentlemen, our summa cum laude students. Students receiving magna cum laude recognition, please stand as I read your name. Sierra Sykes, Samuel Blaha, Javier Diavila, Mackenzie Shively, Amani Anderson, Alyssa Grimm, Alyssa Huffman, Jenica Kane, Elijah Hay, Chelsea Cagg, Donovan Scott Glass, Kiana Fox, and Gage Peak. Ladies and gentlemen, our magna cum laude students. And students receiving cum laude recognition, please stand as I read your name. Morgan Myers, Abigail Ryder, Autumn Ham, Joel Philpott, Joshua Vickery, Riley Shepard, Emily Claxton, Samuel McChristian, James Russell, Megan Federcheck, Sydney Clark, Nicole Skipper, you come prepared here at CHS. That might have been the senior prank where they messed with my batteries. This has been a great class. So, I think I left off with Megan Federcheck with the mic. I would like to mention Sydney Clark, Nicole Skipper, Lauren Tevebaugh, Austin McClary, Anna Niebrugge, Matthew Campbell, Madeline Givats, and Chloe Kirksey. Ladies and gentlemen, our cum laude students. It is now my pleasure to introduce Jimmy Moore. He is the son of Penny Moore and Jeff Moore. Jimmy earned the honor of presenting the class address based on his tremendous academic performance here at Collinsville High School. Mr. Jimmy Moore.
So one day before English, as we were all sitting there chatting, not listening to the announcements as we normally do, my friend Ricky Coca, hi Ricky, stood up and said some words to the class that I will never forget. He said, "Guys, isn't it crazy that this morning we were all in our beds, but now we're all here together?" Out loud, we were all laughing at Ricky and thanking him for his tremendous, blindingly obvious insight. However, those words have a profound meaning. They apply to us right now. All the work you've done for the last 4 years, all the actions you've taken even before then, they all play into this massive thread of love, friendship, and memories we call life. I would say that today is probably the only day that all of our threads combine into one, but that'd be a huge lie. Whether you like it or not, our threads have permanently become tangled up. Every interaction with another person, sharing a laugh with a friend, shooting a glare across a hall, hugging your mom, they all represent a twist or a tying of two threads together. Over the last 4 years, all our threads have permanently become part of a giant, messy, but beautiful web. The beauty of this web lies in its complexity. It's just as a butterfly getting caught in the corner of a spider's web can affect the complete opposite side, every small action we have taken has compounded into a butterfly effect of its own, leading us all to be here with the personalities and character we have today. Just to get an idea, every Wednesday when I was 3, little Jimmy would wake up bright and early, run his little legs down the stairs, bolt to the window, hands up against it, and stare right at the trash truck as it came by. I basically worshipped the driver, Jesus, and his truck, and even went as a literal trash truck for Halloween that year, and won the Maryville costume contest, by the way. Trying to figure out how that truck worked really sparked my curiosity and helped me become the valedictorian today. As we move on from high school and spread like wildfire across the world, our actions may have the same impact as Jesus, the truck driver, had on me without us even knowing. Our journey through high school may end today, but our web will only continue to grow in size. Just as our community's web will affect other people after you graduate, it will continue to affect us. We may thin out in number as we spread across the country, but every node of this web will grow stronger as we move through life. We may grow in distance, but the strength of our connections will never fade. We will continue to hold each other in our minds and in our hearts as we move on to bigger and better things. I'd like to conclude by saying thank you to everyone that has made my life's thread stronger, to the friends, to the family, to the teachers, to the acquaintances, to everyone I didn't mention, even Jesus. Thank you.
Thank you for the thoughtful address, Jimmy. Well done. In the spring of 1994, a similar group of seniors in purple caps and gowns were directly involved in the Collinsville High School commencement exercises. I would like to recognize the class of 1994 members who are celebrating their 25th anniversary of their graduation. So if there are any members in the audience of the class of 1994, would you please stand and be recognized? Hey, go K-Hawks. Here we go. Each year at commencement exercises, we recognize alumni of Collinsville High School who have distinguished themselves after leaving our school. Mr. Gary Piccola, president of the Collinsville Community Unit Number 10 Board of Education, will present this year's CHS Alumni Achievement Award. Please welcome Mr. Piccola to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. This morning I have the honor of representing the Board of Education, and we are very happy to be a part of this commencement ceremony. Graduation is definitely one of the highlights of the year for us. At this time, it is my privilege and pleasure to present the Alumni Achievement Award to Mr. Peter Stamen. Mr. Stamen was the youngest of 5 children raised by Milton and Lucille Stamen. A lifelong Collinsville resident, he graduated from CHS in 1975. He went on to obtain a bachelor's degree in mass communications and later a master's degree in public administration, both from Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville. He worked for 6 years at the Collinsville Herald newspaper before changing course and joining the Collinsville Fire Department in 1983. Rather than just reporting on what had occurred, he became more interested in helping those who were perhaps having the worst day of their lives. He moved up through the ranks, serving as firefighter, EMT, paramedic, instructor, safety officer, and a weapons of mass destruction responder. He achieved the rank of captain in 2003 and was appointed chief in 2007. He served in that capacity until he retired in 2011 after 28 years of service. After retiring from the fire department, Mr. Stamen's strong interest in history, which was inspired by his parents, led him to begin research on an infamous moment in Collinsville history, the hanging of German immigrant Robert Pranger 100 years ago. He first became interested in the tragic story while a young student in Unit 10. He had always been fascinated with the fact that the only lynching of a German immigrant reported during World War I had occurred in Collinsville. His research led him to write the book Patriotic Murder, a World War I hate crime for Uncle Sam. His book was published last October by Potomac Books. Mr. Stamen focuses on how the toxic social environment of the time resulted in the death of an innocent man and the acquittal of his murderer. He is currently working to raise funds to erect a monument so future generations can learn from a dark moment in our town's history. Mr. Stamen has written multiple articles on public safety and has served on many local and state boards. He now works with the Illinois office of the State Fire Marshal. He continues to live in Collinsville with his wife, Barbara. They have 3 children, Courtney, Christopher, and Nathan, all of whom are CHS graduates. Mr. Stamen has a deep passion for Collinsville and its history. He has used his life's work to serve our community and capture its history for future generations. It is an honor for Collinsville High School to announce Mr. Peter Stamen as this year's Alumni Achievement Award recipient.
Thank you, Mr. Piccola. I'd like to say thank you to the school board, to the Collinsville High School administration, and the Alumni Achievement Award Selection Committee. To be recognized for this award is humbling, and I thank you for this great honor. I also offer my congratulations to the Collinsville high school class of 2019. You made it. My message to you is going to be brief, but it's an important one. I suppose I'm up here today because of my efforts to document the tragic 1918 lynching of a German immigrant in Collinsville at a site less than a mile from here. 101 years ago, much of this nation was wrapped in a patriotic frenzy to show its support for World War I. But amid all that hysteria, a great number, perhaps a majority, were opposed to U.S. entry into that war. But in 1918, they couldn't say that. Mob mentality doesn't allow for those who dissent. One of the most disturbing things for me in conducting my research was that so many people, men who certainly knew better, failed to speak up. They failed to stand up for what was right. And perhaps Robert Prager's greatest fault was his German accent, or simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But the 1918 mob wouldn't wait for the facts, for the rule of law or due process. The loudest uninformed voice carried the day. Why does that still sound familiar in 2019? As the mob leaders, fewer than 5 men, prepared to lynch an innocent man, perhaps 90 other men and boys watched and said nothing to stop it. One witness said to another, "They ought not to do that." The other man simply replied, "It's plain murder, but what can you do?" I suppose it's easy for us to look back 101 years later and say we would have spoken up, individually or as a group. But I'd like to think we would have. I'd like to think we would have called out a certain segment of coal miners for what they were in 1918 Collinsville. They weren't patriots. They were just plain bullies. Yet in 2019, we still have people who stand behind the flag or the military and say, if you don't agree with me, you hate this nation or you dishonor our troops. But don't be bullied by their line of thinking. Stand up for what you know to be right, even though it would be much easier to keep your mouth shut and say nothing. You'll have to show me anything or anyone great who was ever born out of cowardice. Wherever you go from here, not just college, but maybe it's trade school or work or wherever, Seek to be informed. Seek out the real facts. Don't listen to those who try to rewrite history or reject science because it just doesn't fit their political or religious beliefs. Don't let your children get the measles because you believe the wild conspiracy theory du jour. Although it takes more effort than looking at a meme or reading someone's rant on Twitter or Facebook, seek to be informed by reputable media. Those outlets are still out there. A critical component in any democracy is for its voters to be well informed. It's certainly one of today's great ironies that with the vast flow of information on social media and the internet, we have so many who are uninformed or misinformed. It's for your generation to do better, to seek to be better informed, to seek to be more enlightened than we are today, or certainly more than we were 101 years ago. Thank you, congratulations, and Godspeed to the CHS class of 2019.
Congratulations once again, Mr. Stamen, on your prestigious honor. We have several faculty members and staff members who will be retiring at the conclusion of the 2018-2019 school year. Their contributions to the educational environment at CHS are deeply appreciated. I know these individuals have positively impacted many Collinsville students throughout their respective careers at Collinsville High School. Let's recognize teachers Emma Hushman, Mary Sue Nath, as well as non-certified staff members Nancy Gerstenecker, Shirley Gray, and Karen Skemmerhorn. We do have in attendance Mary Sue Nath, 19 years of teaching, Karen Skemmerhorn and Nancy Gerstenecker. They're all here, they showed up, so let's give them one more round. We're really gonna miss them. Dr. Green and the Board of Education, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the class of 2019. They have completed the course of study prescribed by the state of Illinois, the Collinsville Unit 10 School District Number 10 Board of Education, and the faculty of Collinsville High School. At this time, it is an honor for me to introduce our educational leader at Collinsville Community Unit 10 Schools. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Robert Green.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Good morning, parents, family, friends, and of course, graduates, or soon to be graduates. You're not quite there yet. You've got to tolerate a few more speeches and walking through here before that happens. I was trying to think the last month, what secret of the universe could I share with the seniors that's never been heard before to help them on their way? So I just thought, well, I'll just give them some of the secrets that I found during my life that have worked for me. The first, honor your mother and father. If you've never told them you love them, do so today. And parents, I would tell you to do the same thing with your kids. Also, I'd like you to thank your teachers. Some of your teachers are up here seated behind me, but some of them, are not here, grade school teachers and wherever, but they've all been part of your journey, helping you learn and grow, sometimes aggravating you because they wouldn't accept less than your best, but they all had one thing in common, to help you learn. So make sure you thank your teachers. The other values I think you need to hold on to wherever you go, whatever you decide to do, is build a strong moral foundation. Our country was founded with a lot of freedoms in mind. One of those was a moral order. It allowed everyone to practice their religion as they best saw fit. So never forget that. People have gathered together in groups for thousands of years, and they established laws, and they developed religion to help them answer some of those tough questions. So never forget that. Also, work hard. How many times have you heard that from a teacher or your parent or a grandparent? Work hard, work hard. Well, that's, great advice. But a wise man once told me, he said, Dr. Green, you work hard, but you need to understand you need to enjoy life too. So don't forget to celebrate. I thought that was pretty wise and profound. So I tell you, work hard, work hard, work hard, but celebrate. Enjoy life. Enjoy your accomplishments. Enjoy those around you. Also know that you're facing a future that's going to change rapidly. My grandfather was born in 1986. To save you the math, he'd be 133 years old if he were here today. He died when I was 5 years old, so I hardly knew him. I just have some memories. But the point I want to make, here's what he saw in his lifetime. There were no cars, there were no airplanes, there was no TV, there was no telephone, there was no internet, there was no computer, there was no cell phone, there weren't selfies, there weren't chat rooms, there weren't any of these things. So imagine the change he saw in his life. He died in 1958, by the way. But during that time, he saw the Spanish-American War, he saw the invention of the automobile, the television, and before he passed, electricity came to the rural part of Indiana where he lived. But think about it. He also saw the start of the space age. Before that, it was just a dream that man was someday going to be in outer space, or woman if you prefer. I think they both ought to go to outer space. What do you think? Well, anyway, the point being, he saw all these things happen in his lifetime. And think of what's happened since then. When I was at home, we got 3 channels on the TV, and they were in black and white. And if you wanted to change the channel, you'd have to go outside and turn the pole that the antenna was on so you could pick up another station. We didn't have remotes. We had a telephone that was a party line. Do you know what a party line is? That was a phone that people in the country all shared. There might be 6 or 8 families on the party line. So before you could make a call, you'd have to pick it up and listen. Sometimes people listened even if they weren't part of the conversation. But that's the way life was. They had just started computers in business and in the government. I was in high school, and my 2 favorite things were football and girls, not necessarily in that order. And I was thinking I'm going to be a football coach. Well, I read that the coach of the Dallas Cowboys used a computer to help plan what was going on for his team, and it worked pretty well. So I said to myself, when I go to college, I'm going to study computers. I did, but it never helped me as a football coach. I just coached a few years, but it's helped me in many ways beyond. It's gone far beyond what anybody ever imagined. So the point I'm trying to make to you is to be ready for change. Change is going to come in technology. Change is going to come in society. Sometimes it moves very slow, though, when you're talking about dealing with people. Let me give you an example. In 1958, when my grandpa passed away, I was 5 years old. I was growing up in Seminole, Oklahoma. And at that time, black kids weren't allowed to go to the same school that I was in. They couldn't use the same swimming pool. If they went to the movies, they had to sit in the balcony, and the whites had to sit downstairs. They weren't allowed on my Little League team or in my Cub Scout troop. We've come a long way. We've changed a lot of things. We still have a ways to go. But Keep up the good fight. Always do what's right. Honor your father and mother. And praise God, and may He bless you in all that you do and keep you safe. My blessings go with you. Thank you.
Thank you for that meaningful message, Dr. Green. Dr. Green is retiring after 8 years of service to Unit 10 schools, 45 years in education. Your educational leadership is very much appreciated. Thank you. I would like to congratulate the class of 2019 for all of their accomplishments at Collinsville High School. These graduates have been exceptional to work with the past 4 years. They have definitely left a positive mark on CHS as well as our community in a variety of ways. First and foremost, these 430 students have been very strong academically. This group has collectively earned $5.1 million in scholarship awards, which is a new school record at the High School of Champions. Perhaps more impressive, though, is the character of these students, which is exemplified by the numerous charitable endeavors undertaken by so many organizations, clubs, and teams. Our community spirit here certainly sets CHS apart from anywhere else I have ever been. I know in my heart these young ladies and gentlemen have a great deal to offer society academically as well as socially. These students have been well prepared for their transition to college, technical school, the military, and the workforce. Their preparation has been the result of special relationships with family, classmates, and faculty. Graduates, I would like you to acknowledge the positive support and influence of your parents, guardians, and teachers. Each year, I share a quote or two with our graduates. Today, I'll share a quote from a renowned inventor, Thomas Edison. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like hard work. Graduates, don't be complacent or procrastinate. Keep improving yourself at home, at work, at school, in the community. Be a lifelong learner and take action. Make a positive difference wherever you are. Graduates, I encourage you to be empathetic and gracious to others during good times. It's also very important to be responsible and resilient during challenging times. Don't ever give up. Graduates, I hope you pursue your dreams and aspirations and make a positive impact wherever you are. In closing, the Collinsville High School class of 2019 has really been a pleasure to work with these past 4 years. I will definitely miss this group as they're very special and talented, and they're also quite unique. However, I know these students are eager and ready to meet new challenges and make a positive impact wherever they go. So, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the remainder of the graduation ceremony, folks. At this time, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Piccola, President of the Unit 10 Board of Education, to the podium once again. Mr. Piccola will address the graduates on behalf of the Board of Education. Mr. Gary Piccola.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. While today may be a highlight for the board, this is the culmination of 13 years of hard work on your part. Graduation is a major milestone in each of your lives, and you should all be very proud of yourselves. As I look out at all of you, I see future doctors. And just as importantly, I see future nurses, CNAs, x-ray technicians, and support clerks. You may be sitting next to the engineer who designs the hospital in which you will work, or the construction worker who builds it. One of your classmates may be the chef who prepares the meals, and yet another may be the farmer who grows the food that is served. Perhaps the student in a row behind you will drive the truck that delivers the food from the farmer, and the one sitting next to him will be the mechanic who keeps the truck running. It takes every one of these individuals, each doing their own job to the best of their ability, to make the hospital operate successfully. The same train of thought can be applied to any vocation you will pursue. Some of you are familiar with Jane Goodall, a renowned anthropologist, primatologist, and author. Her research has given her great insight into human behavior. She has said, "Every individual matters. Every individual has a role to play. Every individual makes a difference." I firmly believe those words. Each and every one of you are an important part of our society. No matter what job you hold, do it with pride, do it to the best of your ability, and remember that each of you can make a difference. On behalf of the Board of Education, we hope that Unit 10 has given you a good foundation upon which to build the rest of your lives. We would like to congratulate you and your parents or guardians on a job well done and wish you all the best as you leave Collinsville High School. Thank you.
Uh-oh. Test. Never mess with the technology department or they'll give you a hard time. Mr. Piccola, your time and dedication on behalf of our students is greatly appreciated. Thanks again for that excellent speech. Thank you. At this time, members of the Board of Education will present diplomas to the class of 2019, and I'd like to welcome Mr. Shusky to the podium.
All right, good morning. Sorry about that. It is a privilege to announce the names of our 2019 graduates today, and we will begin with Ethan Daniel Wilhold. Eliza Marie Aberson. James Hendon Moore. Michaela Nicole Chrisman. Elena Aveja Ortiz. Autumn J. Adams. Liliana Alcazar. Tony Lamar Allen Jr. Chanel L. Emerson. Imani Patrice Anderson. Ramses Manuel Ansaldo. Olivia Maureen Arnold. Adrian Arroyo. Roberto Avalos. Logan Michael Aiden. Eileen Avila. Dahlia M. Avila. Dominique Rosa Buckheady. Brianna DJ Ali Banks. True Barber. Sky Michaela Barker. Christopher Beto. Haley Michelle Belovich. Adolfo Berriozabal Lopez. Samuel Joseph Blaha. Kylie Michelle Bolandis. Emily Catherine Bone. Nicholas James Boschers. Hunter J. Bazzetto. Victoria Rose Marie Bostic. Devin Matthew Bobinette. Brianna Elizabeth Bradford. Samantha Brakebill. Carrie Ross Brewer. Bethany Brickeen. Cameron H. Brock. Austin R. Buck. Christy Buckman. Carly J. Bullington. Paul H. Bonetta IV. Amy Elizabeth Burgess. Naima Fatima Christian Burns. Malcolm Burns. Renee Victoria Marie Burns. Keegan L. Butcher. Chelsea R. Cagg. Jenica Vivian Kane. Kaylee V. Camillo. Sydney Elise Camillo. Caitlin Michelle Campbell. Matthew E. Campbell. Elvis M. Campos Pacheco. Donovan Sean Cantor. Austin Carico. Julissa Carrillo. Noah Colby Carroll. Trinity Leanne Carter. Josue Castrillon. Joseph Cates. Zachary Allen Covey. Alexis S. Chavez. Magali Chavez. Maya M. Cherry. Alexis Paige Clark. Damian DeAndre Clark Jr. Sydney Elizabeth Faye Clark. Richard Jackson Coca. Lauren Chanel Cody. Kobe Lee Coleman. Leanne Nicole Collier. Niles D. Collins. Travis Collins. Kevin Marquise Connors. Diamond Alexia Conrad. Zoe M. Cope. Giuseppe M. Capitelli. Richard A. Corey. Annika Elizabeth Jillian Cosgrove. Nathan W. Crane. Kyle J. Crone. Deja Crowder. Sierra Nicole Cruz. Jaime Cruz. Lucia Cruz. Karina Cruz Cortez. Luke Michael Cuddyback. Dominic V. Darren. Brian R. Deadman. Javier De Avila. Gabriel David Deeringer. Bianca R. De La Torre. Alejandra De Leon. Gilberto Del Rio Montalvo. Luke M. DeLuca. Jacob Lewis DePro. Imani Ivana Dixon. Matthew Thomas Dobbs. Justin William Dotson. Carson Robert Lonnie Doherty. Stephen Gage Doward. Drew Hamilton Doyle. Zeandria T. Dufishard. Jacob W. Dumsdorf. Angel L. Edwards. Layla A. Elkardawi. Ty C. England. Brandon Escudia Bernal. Tanner Nicholas Ewing. Megan Noel Federchek. Caitlin Diana Fenton. Julia Rose Ferguson. Autumn S. Fields. Wade Filgus. Dominic Joseph Folan. Caitlin Louise Fortner. Marianne E. Fowler. Kiana Maria Fox. Michaela Marie Fox. Ethan M. Franklin. Alexander Ray Freilich. Jaslyn Janae Fuller. Aide Garcia. Brian Garcia. Melissa Emily Garcia. Yesenia Garcia Ayabar. Kevin De Jesus Garcia Munoz. Salvador Gaspar. Melissa Jane Genovese. Yasmin Giles. Antoine L. Givens Jr. Molly Renee Goddard. Sonia Gonzalez. Alfredo Gonzalez Aguilera. Madison K. Gordon. Zachary M. Graffin. Brandon M. Gray. Hannah Kimberly Gray. Ryan Thomas Gray. Tabitha L. Gray. Alyssa Christine Grimm. Madeline Givats. Jose Fabian Gutierrez. Francisco Gutierrez de Loera. James Xander Hagney. Matthew Jean Holbrooks. Adriana Elizabeth Hall. Autumn Grace Ham. Dylan Michael Hammond. Jalen Thomas Harris. Kara Nicole Harrison. Marshall Lewis Harrison Jr. Jennifer Renee Hatcher. Elijah Hay. Brianna N. Hayhurst. Jariah M. Head. Samuel Gregory Heinz. Andrew Thomas Hendricks. David A. Henze. Annalisa Hernandez. Christian J. Hernandez. Diego Hernandez. Luis Angel Hernandez. Isaiah Lavert Hicks Maston. Aviana Camille Holder. Claire J. Holliday. Justin D. Hoskins. Faith Hoberg. Dayton M. Houston. Dustin L. Howerton. Alyssa Yvonne Huffman. Anai Wheatrone. Peyton Renee Humphrey. Samuel J. Huster. Curtis Lee Irons. Madison Kiana Eisen. Raina Lynn Yeager. Dominic Jakich. Morgan Alaya Jefferson. Larissa Jimenez Martinez. Bria M. Johnson. Ian M. Johnson. Caitlin Marie Johnson. Elena M. Jones. Calissa Madison Jones. Gage A. Jones. Jalen Lavandez Jordan. Cade Michael Yinger. Chandler James Cap. Jacob M. Kaufman. Abby Lee Kays. Tyson Keene. Courtney Renee Keller. Chandler M. Kent. Chastity K. Marie Kent. Mackenzie Veronica Desiree Harley Kent. Parker Jason Kent. Kaylin Kershaw. Alexis Hope Kimbrell. Bria Armani King. Chloe Kirksey. Jerry Lee Koritz Jr. All right, that was our first half of the alphabet. We will switch sides in just a moment and continue momentarily with the second half of our alphabet. All right, we are just about to get started with the second half of our alphabet. A reminder, if you leave the gymnasium, you will not be allowed back in during commencement exercises. We will start in just a moment with our second half of the alphabet as soon as our photographers are set up on the other side. Mrs. Kimbrell? All right, we are ready to begin with the second half of the alphabet. Thank you for your patience. Okay, we are ready. So please take your seats. And our second half of the alphabet students can come forward. So these are students with the last names L through Z. And we begin with the second half of our alphabet with Tyler Leanne Laboure, Damaya Marie Latham, Brendan A. Louth, Julianne Jean Ledford, Antoine Quincy Leroy, Leighton W. Letford, Victoria K. Jewel Lewis, Lucas Liljegren, Yarixa S. Lomalai, Alejandro Lopez, Armando Lopez, Trinity Ann Lowe, Lexi Nicole Ludgate, Imani Monet Llewellyn, Otavia Renee Mamino, Hannah Renee Manker, Mackenzie D. Manley, Allison Renee Mann, Alondra Yadira Marine, Travis Wayne Marcosian, Adrian Pacheco Marquez, Heather Nicole Martinez, Alondra Martinez Rojero. Crystal Martinez Torres. Brooke Nicole Mask. Daniel Lynn Mathenia III. Caitlin McCandless. Samuel Jonathan McChristian. Austin McClary. Alexis Ann McIntyre. Sarah McNally. Myronisha T. McNeil. Allison Nicole Meek. Darion Q. Merriweather. Jacob Daniel Metcalf. Camden James Meyer. Brandon A. Miguel Tyndall. Araxi Gates Miller. Callie Cassia Miller. Dennis C. Miller. Kyle M. Miller. Alexis Ray Mitchell. Carolyn Grace Mitchell. Christopher Modlin. Damian Lee Morris. Garrett Tyler Morsky Hartle. Micaiah Mosley. Felipe De Jesus Munoz Davalos. Morgan Olivia Myers. Brandon L. Myrick. Corey Mason Nichols. Anna Marie Niebrugge. Gabrielle Renee Niebrugge. Mackenzie Elizabeth Cordelia Aubert. William Scott O'Brien. Dylan D. Oglesby Temple. Maria Alexandra Olguin Hernandez. Kirsten P. Oliver. Hannah Marie Olson. Angela G. Ortiz. Jesus Daniel Ortiz. Erica J. Oseguera. Melanie J. Outland. Kaylin N. Overturf. Eileen Pacheco. Nelson Pacheco. Diana Montserrat Pacheco Orozco. Alyssa Painter. Jared Alexander Pallardy. Daniel Allen Parrish. Trenton A. Pauley. William A. Peck, Jr. Gage Michael Peak. Evan Thomas Pensino. Connor T. Perez. Maritza M. Perez. Maria Guadalupe Perez Prado. Kimberly Mixie Perez Villegas. Journey M. Fershey. Joel Michael Philpott. Justin Plasters. Riley Lee Ponce. Devin M. Ponder. Travis Proctor. Lance A. Prater. Tara L. Provencher. Trey John Shibish. Spencer Edward Smith Pies. Ontavion Quilling. Ryan A. Rainey. Alexis Ramirez. Daniel Ramirez. Peyton N. Randolph. Blake Thomas Rankin. Tanner Lee Ray. Arnaz Ricardo Redmond Jr. Claire Rendelman. Everett Lawrence Reinhardt. Caleb R. Rice. Deshaun Richardson. Sydney M. Richardson. Evante D. Rickman. Abigail Faith Ryder. Anna Remar. Sadie Elizabeth Ripley. Blake E. Rissler. Catherine R. Robinson. Simone Rodriguez. Vanessa S. Rodriguez. Wendy Liliana Rodriguez. Matthew James Reck. Jewel Lynn Rogers. Amanda Jasmine Rojero. Rocio R. Romo. Bailey A. Ranji. Sheridan Zoe Roth. James Patrick Russell. Demetrion T. Sadler. Giselle Salazar. Time Marie Sampson. Esau Sanchez. Anthony Joseph Scaturo. Mackenzie Shibley. Emma Lou Schmidlkoffer. Isabella Francis Schubert. Ariel Marie Schultz. Drew M. Schultz. Donovan Michael Scott Gass. Noah M. Scrum. Esbady Serrano Casares. Matthew Harrison Sharp. Dimitri W. Shea. Nicholas Shepard. Riley Michelle Shepard. Kelsey Nicole Shepperson. Brandon Thomas Seifert. Stevenson Edward Simmons. Trey R. Simpson. Nicole Danielle Skipper. Joseph J.P. Skirha. Kevin William Schlesinger. Carter J. Sloan. Gabrielle Ann Marie Smith. Julia Catherine Smith. Cameron Smith. Chloe M. Smith. Brendan Matthew Summer. Eileen Soto Chirez. Darius J. Spencer. Nash Aaron Stanford. Matthew K. Sermon. Sierra Ann Sykes. Wesley A. Taylor. Lauren Murray Tvba. Carson A. Tice. Terry Thompson. Abigail Juliana Tiemann. Allison Mackenzie Tinas. Caitlin Marie Toothman. Edwin Torres. Patrick John P.J. Totleben. Chase Michael Trione. Tanner C. Trollard. Isabella Christine Tucker. Rachel Lane Tucker. Sydney B. Twardowski. Bryce Tyree. Ryan J. Vandenbosch. Melanie Leslie Varela. Sandra Michaela Vasquez Antonio. Karina Vasquez Solano. Ivan A. Velasco. Stephanie Velasquez. Joshua C. Vickery. Devin B. Wallace. Joshua M. Wallace. Ryan Michael Warner. Mason Andrew Wasser. Emily Marie Watt. Draco White. Logan Alexander Whitehead. Sarah Wilderman. Megan N. Wilkie. Ryan J. Wilkie. Nadia Wilkes. Lori Ann Williams. Othello Williams Jr. Timothy E. Williams Jr. Tyler Scott Wiltrout. Gregory Thomas Whitty. Shannon Renee Wobie. Gavin T. Woods. Tate Donald Wyatt. Dakota M. Yargi. And Reese M. Young. Okay, I think Michaela has one of the toughest jobs in the whole program here, doing the closing remarks. Everybody's excited, ready to get moving along with things, but I am pleased to introduce our Vice President from the class of 2019, Michaela Chrisman. She's the daughter of Nicole and Lance Chrisman, and Michaela has the honor of providing us with some closing remarks. Michaela?
Good morning, everyone. As the ceremony comes to a close, I would like to thank you all for being here today. 4 years ago, the same group of people gathered here wondering how we would take on this new chapter of our lives and what all the Collinsville High School champions had to offer us. Now, as we sit here, from administrators to coworkers, parents to children, classmates to friends, we reminisce on the years past and wonder how they flew by so quickly. To my classmates, whether these 4 years were the best time of your life, the worst, or somewhere in between, we all know that these are years we'll never forget. From being the little freshmen that could hardly find a way to our classes, to the seniors who are now ready to take on the world, we've grown up together. In the beginning, we couldn't wait to be at this point and wish the days would go by faster. Now, we can't help but look back. All the dances, sporting events, and pep assemblies have brought us memories that we'll cherish for a lifetime and have helped develop us into young adults. High school helped mold us. Now I can't wait to see the wonderful things you all will accomplish in life. To our families and administration, thank you for the endless support and opportunities all of these years. We thought we were coming to Collinsville High School for an education, but we received so much more. Friendship, support, independence, none of this would have been possible without all of you. Your guidance has paved the way for us. Now we can begin our journeys and eventually do the same for our children one day. That being said, congratulations, class of 2019. We did it. So let's cherish the memories we've made, utilize the lessons we've learned, and never forget where we came from. Once a K-Hawk, always a K-Hawk. Thank you.
Thank you for those closing remarks there, Michaela. Nice job. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Collinsville High School class of 2019.